Well, welcome to, I don't even know what to call this. This is like
Welcome to the
the
show.
show. And so while Sen left me to go to Protospiel and I'm sad and lonely here, Stephanie Straw, who is like guest star of every show, and especially Nerd Nighters, decided to hang out with me this evening and come up with some Gen Con top 10 lists. So we're very excited about this, and I hope you are too. If you like our lists, let us know. You can comment in YouTube or on Twitter, and if you have suggestions, like we're missing some, then obviously we want to hear from you. So let us know what you think we're missing. So with that said, Stephanie, why don't you like tell us how we're doing this? Like, what are we gonna top 10 first?
I mean, we have several top 10 lists, and I think one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I'm going to pick one that involves you and I had such a great time at this thing, and I am going to start with the top 10 games that were released at Origins Game Fair 2015. It would have been fun if we had done like Origins Game Fair like 1998 or something, maybe, but 2015 is probably more relevant. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with one,
All right.
which was a Spiel des Jahres nominee, which is Broom Service.
Broom Service, number 10 for top 10 games you need to get at Gen Con, but released at Origins.
That if you didn't get to go to Origins or you're going to go to Gen Con, then absolutely get that. So yeah, it was the Kinderspiel des Jahres nominee and winner.
Wow, a winner,
So
a winner right there. I think that's gonna be actually really popular because of it winning. A lot of people are gonna race and grab that.
yeah. I mean, if you follow the SDJ, then I think that you certainly will be paying attention to that. It's also sort of a reimagined version of Witch's Brew, which is a previously released game. So it's a card game about bluffing.
Yep. Have you played Witch's Brew?
I have not,
Yeah.
but
I had Witch's Brew and I sold it because I was tempted by the value of it. And but I have played Broom Service and it's fantastic. So that's a great pick. It might be showing up in one of my other lists. So
ooh, okay.
but I'll go with my number 10. My number 10 is from Z-Man Games, and you can find them at booth 2009, and is The Voyages of Marco Polo. And there's no way I'm going to try.
Yes.
I'm not even going to try to say their last names because they're Italian. So
And
we're
you
just
were
going to
just
say Simone and
them.
Danielle. Simone and Danielle.
Yeah, Simone and Danielle. You know.
Yeah.
I actually received this as a birthday gift and have not played it yet, but am going to play it very soon.
There you go. There you go. So maybe at Gen Con.
Maybe at Gen Con.
I have to still play it, so maybe we'll play it at Gen Con.
Maybe we'll do it at Gen Con. Maybe
All right.
that might show. Maybe that activity might show up on another list that we do in a second.
Oh, nice. All right, what's your number 9?
Number 9 is Flick 'em Up, and it is a dexterity game. Also, no, who did Flick 'em Up? They were right
Pretzel.
next to Z-Man. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Pretzel / Z-Man. Yep.
Okay. That one is a super awesome, high quality wooden bits, dexterity, shooting Western style game. And I didn't get to play it, but they had a giant version of it available to check out, and then just a few games for purchase because I don't think they were actually planning on like selling it yet. And then they were like, why not? Kind of like this show. We were like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I heard they sold out like basically the first couple hours because they didn't really have very many.
Yeah, it was like $70 and they sold out. So.
Boom. All right,
Boom.
my number 9 comes from Mayfair, Mayfair is impossible not to find at Gen Con because they're everywhere. But mine's a little 2-player game called Trambon, designed by Helmut Oli. I saw this getting played actually by Eric Martin of BGG News, and he gave me the thumbs up at Origins that it was good. And so he's the designer of Russian Railroads. I really like that, so I'm intrigued by a 2-player game by them.
I have Russian Railroads and I really like it. So that was one that was not on any of my lists, but now I am adding it to check it out.
Yeah.
Let's dive into some Fantasy Flight games. with Forbidden Stars,
Ooh, this is your
which
number
is
8?
yeah, this is my number 8. Samuel Bailey, James Niffen, and Corey Konitska.
Corey,
Konitska.
that's a tough last name to say.
Yeah, yeah. It is a game set in the Warhammer universe. It is, if you're familiar with StarCraft, it's basically that. And I actually own this game, and I haven't played it yet, but I just got it last weekend on 4th of July. So,
Oh wow,
because it had stars, like stars and stripes. I feel like
gotcha. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a stretch, but
That's a bit of a stretch, but it seems pretty intense. So I mean, I will definitely play it at some point, but I'll have to play it with someone who knows what they're doing.
yeah, I need to like sit down for like an hour and look over the rules at least. So I will do that.
On the opposite side of difficult to learn, my number 8 is from Crash Games, designed by Jason Kotarski, and that's Dead Drop. So it really is just a very slim deck of cards. Like I think it's something like 15.
Yeah.
And yet it's totally fun. You can play it tons of times. The first time I ever saw it was at Gen Con last year, and it was being pitched to Patrick. So
That's when I saw it. Yeah.
full circle. It's now a real game in the real world. So what's your number 7?
That's my favorite Jason Kotarski game, and that was actually my number 7. So.
Oh, there you go. It's like we planned that, but we didn't. That's awesome. Mind meld. Okay, my number 7 is actually my list is in horrible order because this should be way higher. But
I had a lot of trouble ordering mine.
Yeah, this is designed by a local friend of mine from Toronto, Christopher Chung, and this is Lanterns that came out by Foxtrot and Renegade, who also, just to give a shout out, because we're in the Origins, need to get it at Gen Con. I love their booth at Origins, so they went fast though. Lanterns.
Yeah. Their booth setup was really nice. It was really open. Some like kind of cocktail tables where they were demoing games. Yellow kind of does that same thing, and it was really cool. And I have Lanterns and I like it. So did you get the promo tiles that they gave away?
I did. I was very excited about that.
I bet those will also be available at Gen Con.
Yeah, I think actually you can find Randy and Hall D at tables 13 and 14 to track those down, and maybe even in their tournaments, I believe you can get those.
My number, what are we on? I'm on 6. My number 6 is a game called Twerk by J.R. Honeycutt. The publisher is Breaking Games.
I know that guy.
Yeah. I actually haven't gotten to play this game yet, but I want to, and that's why it's on my list, because it is a game that I am anticipating hopefully being able to play. It's a word game.
Yeah.
And there's dice rolling in it, and that's really cool to me, I think. So. Yeah.
I am actually not a word game guy, but I love JR, so if I could just pick people, I would just put JR on my list. But
he would be like 1 through 10.
Yes,
so.
but I'm not necessarily a word guy. But I love that twerk exists, and every time I see it, I want to twerk. So number 6 for me is from Stronghold. It's a co-design between Michael Keller and Andreas Odendell, and that's Lagrange, which I realize has actually been out for about a year, but in North America, it's been very hard to track down. So the first time I saw it for sale was at Origins. So that's my number 6.
My number 5 is also a Stronghold game. It is Dark Moon.
Yay!
So,
I love Dark Moon.
Dark Moon is like Battlestar Galactica Express.
Yeah.
So bluffing, deduction, dice, kind of some negotiation for 3 to 7 players. The designer is Evan Derrick.
Yes.
And there was an issue with some of the first release copies at Origins where the punch board didn't go all the way through.
Yeah,
for one of the components.
For the player screens. The player screens, you couldn't really fold them unless you cut them. But I think that's going to be fixed in time for this.
Yeah.
And I will already hint that is on my list, but on another list. So people will have to stay tuned for that one. My number 5 we're doing, right? 5?
Yeah.
Wow, we're already
You're
up to
on
5. This is good. This one, I got to meet the designer at Origins and hang out with him, Emerson. I'm not going to even try to say his last name, but the designer of Spectre Ops. Great game and even better designer. So I highly recommend. If people don't have Spectre Ops yet, they need to get it.
That board is so cool. I don't know what that technique is called. With the printing of the numbers on that, where they're like a different luminescence, kind of.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah,
know what
that
I
was.
mean? Like the numbers are kind of shiny, so it's not invasive to look at the board. The board is gorgeous, and there are different like well lit areas on the board and darker
Mhm.
areas on the board, and I think those have different effects
Yeah,
whenever like where you are. So I think that's really
I'm very
cool.
jealous of that board.
Yeah, they are super smart to think of that. And that is actually my number 4. So
Whoa, this is awesome. I know. All
we're
right,
pretty close though, so that's
that's
good.
awesome. All right, so then my number 4, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best convention games, and I'm hoping to play it at Gen Con, and that is from Tuesday Night Games, Two Rooms and a Boom. So that's my number 4.
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
You know, I have played it twice at right before I did the whatchamacallit, Extra Life for kids, the charity board
Totally.
game marathon thing.
Yeah.
And I played it in Seattle. Brittany Bowe had a copy of it, so
Nice.
I backed it, so I should be receiving it
Nice.
here
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
So.
You're number
Number 3. Welcome to the Dungeon is an Origins release, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That was with Yellow Games. Absolutely. My number 3, I know, was a game that you really enjoyed, and that was Cacao from
Oh my gosh,
Z-Man
I
Games,
love
designed by
Cacao.
Phil Walker Harding.
I have demoed that to so many people that it's not even funny because I just want everyone to love that game as much as I do. And that is actually my number 2.
I was actually surprised it hadn't showed up yet. So that,
because it's up there.
yeah, I thought it would be up there. Well, maybe I can get your number 1 then, because my number 2 is Spyfall.
Yes.
Is it? Yes. That's awesome. Spyfall was kind of my heartbreak story of Origins, because I was interviewing people for Meeple Syrup, and I said to Sen, like, I just want to run for one game. The only game I need to get at Origins is Spyfall. And then it was gone. And then the first day that I drove home, I went to my local game store, and they had one copy on the shelf. So then I was happy.
Yeah.
Because I supported my local game store, and I got it right away.
Yeah, my FLGS got it like I think a day after some others got it because it was late for some reason, and they sold out like immediately. And they just got some back in, so now there's like 6 or 8 more copies of it. So, and I have been like telling everybody about that game.
So go whoever's in Little Rock, go get that.
Need it in your Game Goblins in West Little Rock and Bowman. They just moved to a new location.
Plug. And we don't even have a show, so we're not even particularly plugging anyone. We're just plugging whoever we want.
Sponsored by you guys.
You. And then my number 1, you already mentioned, and that was Flick 'em Up. It went super fast. The pieces are gorgeous. I think it's the kind of game that it's like an heirloom. Like, I look forward to having that game in like 20, 30 years and being like, this is important. You know, like a little, like a Jumanji, kind of like you wipe the dust off it, and then.
Yeah, I mean that's legitimate. I'm terrified if it is actually a Jumanji game because I don't want to get stuck in the game and like giant spiders eat me.
But it wouldn't be giant spiders; it'd be in a western. That'd be awesome. All right, so that's our first top 10 list, and we did pretty good. I think we were pretty fast there.
Yeah, that was pretty. We're high five.
High five. Boom. All right. So what's our next one?
Yeah. What list? What do you want to do?
Oh, putting me on the spot here. All right. Let's do. You know what? One thing that I think there's a lot of coming out, and maybe you don't have as many as me, but I think there's a lot of expansions coming out at Gen Con. So let's get expansions out of the way.
Let's do it.
All right. So
You go
top
first
10
since you have the most.
top 10 expansions. So my first one, and you may hear another one for this game, but my first one is Nothing Personal, Power and Influence. It's designed by Tom Vassell and Stephen Avery. I don't know if you've played Nothing Personal. I
I
have.
have.
I
I
thought
played
it
it
was
at BGG 2 times ago, so not.
yes. I played it
Yeah.
a while ago as well, and I would love to play it again with expansions. It was a fun game, and I really think whatever you add to it, it's just like more humor. So,
Yeah, I'm not super great at negotiation, but
mm.
like I have to offer people like real money um, for them to let me win the game. So,
See, versus
uh,
like I love
but whatever,
negotiation
in the
games.
rules, it doesn't say it's not allowed, right?
Wow. Well,
So
you
I
can play
mean,
with me anytime. I will take real money. But I actually love negotiation games, and my friends know that. So then usually they'll team up against me.
yeah. Oh,
Which,
that's a bummer. Yeah,
but then it just makes it sweeter when I kick their butt. So
totally. So I only have two, three, four, five, six, seven. I have seven. So my,
seven. Well, what?
do you want
Well,
to do
here,
your
let me.
nine and eight?
Yeah, let me get a couple more out because there's
Yeah.
actually another Nothing Personal expansion called Associate. So that's kind of like that's two. And then I just got Valley of the Kings at Origins,
Mm-hmm.
and I gotta give a shout out because this was really nice of him. Tom gave me a little inscription, like a little signature, and wrote in my box. So now I'm gonna have to, because he was so nice to me, I'm gonna have to
That
check
is
it.
super cool.
I'm gonna have to check out the expansion, and it's so small. Like I can't complain about that. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that would be my number 8
Mm-hmm.
is Valley of the Kings Afterlife. Now, why
Yeah.
don't we go to your 7?
My seven is Battle Merchants, New Kingdoms.
Oh, how did I miss that?
Yeah.
That's so obvious.
So
That's gonna take one of my Nothing Personal spots.
yeah, so Battle Merchants is this really cool game where you are selling like Vorpal swords. You're creating and selling Vorpal swords to different factions like orcs and humans and stuff like that. And I just think that was like, why did no one ever think about that before? Gil Hova's a genius.
He is a genius, and
Um,
I played it, and it's awesome. I played it;
yeah,
it's so good.
I actually haven't even gotten to play through a full game. Gil did a demo for us, and we played through a couple of rounds. And I want the game and the expansion because this expansion looks really cool. I'm not sure exactly what all it adds, and actually, I think he might be demoing another one at one of the events, another
Ooh,
expansion for the game too. I saw it on there, so
cool, very
yeah.
cool.
And it's not listed on BGP, so it's super secret.
Super secret. So you got to
Yeah.
track down Gil and say, I want to see the secret stuff.
Yeah.
So my number 7, I went with a man who can't spell his first name, but it's still a good first name. And that's Daryl Lauder with Compounded Geiger expansion with Dice Hate Me, and you can find them at booth 2143 at Gen Con. Giving them a little plug.
Yeah, that's good. You see, you're so prepared with like booth numbers and stuff. What in the world?
I like to give a little plug where I can.
Yeah. Is it my number 6?
Yeah, you're number 6.
My number 6 is Evolution Flight.
That's my next one too. So
Oh, is it? Okay.
now we're doing the reversey. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
we are. We're doing the reversey. The reversies, like you do. Evolution Flight. I first played and demoed, and by demoed I mean like I demoed the game for people at PAX East 2014 or 13 or whatever. Seems like forever ago. For North Star Games, and really liked the game then, and they made tons of improvements since then. And actually, the second edition of the game is out too, so I bet you can get that as well.
Yep.
Which has like better artwork and clarified card text.
They fixed it. They fixed a couple cards, I guess. The art on the cover is gorgeous.
Yeah, it is super pretty.
And so I believe the original designers were Nora and Machen, and then Dominic, obviously from North Star Games, did a lot of development work, so he also has a design credit. And,
Yeah, it was a long time in the making. There was one iteration of it several years ago that they
yeah,
then reimagined. So
totally.
it's had tons of work put into it. It's not lots of plastic surgery, I guess. Is that what that is?
Yeah, yeah, some nice scalpel work there. All right,
What's
so
your number 6? Oh, yeah, that's your number 6 too,
that's my
right?
number 6. Yeah.
Okay. My number 5 is Eminent Domain Microcosm.
Oh, good one, man. I missed a few here.
MDO Microcosm.
Amdo.
It was on the list, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be coming out.
I hope so. There is. I mean, it was just kickstarted, but I think they
Well, I think
hopefully.
people have already received it, the
Yeah.
Kickstarter people. So yeah.
Yep. My number 5 is from
And that's by Tasty Minstrel. Sorry.
Tasty. Yep. Gotta give a shout out to TMG.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Takanoko Chibis, which is designed by Antonio Bauza, and will be with Bombix, which they don't actually have a booth number, but Asmodee owns half the hall anyways. So really just look for like the superpower Asmodee. They're like basically like Disney, and you just look for them, and I'm sure they'll point you towards a giant tower of Takanoko expansions, which will go very fast.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I want to call it Chibis. Right?
Chibis?
Like Chibis?
Chibis?
Yeah.
Yeah, chibis!
And it
Because it
includes
is little
miniatures of
babies.
a female panda and then 9 little babies.
Do we want to go into the controversy a little bit there? A little, like,
Uh,
why did they have to add a,
a female panda.
well, why did, I thought it was already a female panda. Why did they have to add the, like, pink bow? They could have just
Oh,
said, this is
yeah.
the panda's spouse.
Right. Yeah.
Boom, no issue.
Boom. Yeah. No
And
issue.
babies came on the scene.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a bow, that's fine. I mean, it's a little, you know,
I had to point it out for some
yeah,
people.
it's a little, I guess, stereotypical. But I've probably never worn a pink bow in my life. But
And I probably have. So
yeah.
that just goes figure. So number 4, what do you have for number 4?
Number 4, I have Imperial Settlers Atlanteans.
Another mind meld
Um,
moment. That's my number 4.
that's your number 4. Yeah, dude, Ignacy Chevicek is so great. He just keeps churning out these games.
I was surprised by Imperial. Like I had pretty high expectations, and it was better than what I thought. So
Yeah.
the idea of getting to play more different civilizations just sounds awesome.
And you can solo it. So
hmm
card drafting, I mean, variable player powers. It's
It's a
super
winner.
sweet.
That's a winner. All right.
So
Well,
that's also your number. What
that's
was
my
that,
number
4?
4. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
what's
my
your number 3? Or should I? Maybe I'll go first for number
you
3.
go. Yeah, you go first.
Maybe you. I have for number 3 Suburbia 5-star. Designed by Ted Alsbach, obviously with Bezier Games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited about it because I actually saw the expansion in April, and I talked to Ted about it. I didn't play it, but he explained to me that he actually had to figure out ways to make the game faster so that adding a 5th player doesn't actually add more time to the game. And so they figured a way that the 5-player experience is the same length as the 4-player experience with the expansion. So I'm very excited about that.
That is really clever. Super clever.
Yeah. So what's your
Um,
number 3?
my number 3 is Castles of Mad King Ludwig Secrets. Is that yours?
That's my number
So
2.
I
That's my
actually
number 2.
just played this game for the first time last Saturday. I had not played it. I
No.
know, I had been wanting to play it. This is also by Bezier Games.
Mm-hmm.
I had been wanting to play it for forever, and it's a Mensa Select game, and really
It's
loved it.
so
It was super
good.
great. It is so good. I was all up on that dungeon engine. Totally. All over it.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It like the spatial laying out of the tiles. I love building stuff. Like it feels like you're kind of like, like in class board doodling and drawing like your dream castle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
I encourage people to read the full rule book because like the intricacies of why Mad King Ludwig is like what kinds of things he likes and stuff like that are really cute. Like in the expansion, he like is fond of swans, and they're like
Fond of
all over.
swans.
Yeah, and they're like all over the castle or
Yeah.
something.
They,
So,
they almost called the expansion swans.
oh yeah, yeah.
So,
So that's cool.
all right. Well, because you already saw my number 2. Was that your number 2?
That was my number 3. I have 2 more.
So yeah. So what's your number 2? And then I'll say my number 1.
Roll for the Galaxy Ambition.
Nice.
I love me some Roll for the Galaxy so much. I can't even, when people are like, well, tell me a little bit about the game. I can't really tell you a little bit about the game because you can't just go, like, it's a dice rolling game, right? Yeah, you roll dice in it, but
It is a dice rolling game.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I
you know, a lot of people are like, it's a Euro game, it's a worker placement game, it's a card drafting, and I'm just like, it is Roll for the Galaxy.
It is Roll for the Galaxy. Checkmate. That's the explanation.
So the Ambition expansion coming out.
Ambition. All right. Well, the cool thing about that's with Rio. Is that with?
Yep.
So the tip, which I forgot to put in one of our later things, and I'm just remembering it now. I was told this last year because last year was my first Gen Con, and I never experienced it, and then I regret it. So I'm for sure going to do it this year. Is to go hang out in the Rio Grande room because they get free food, and like full out like real food. Like I've heard about like nachos or like full meals, but they do it at random times, so you can't predict.
Oh, that's the thing. So everybody can't just show up at 4.
Exactly, and expect like, oh, where's my roast beef
jumping on the
sandwich?
saltwater taffy. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. So that I'm gonna hit that up a few times, and my goal is to be there at least one time where I get free food.
You gotta tweet me. And let me know
oh yeah.
Just me though. You can't tweet everybody.
It'll be a real quiet tweet. Just
a DM. Just like we don't need to tell everybody. No, actually, watch Daryl Andrews' Twitter account for announcements.
If you're watching my Twitter, if there's free food, I will definitely be tweeting about free food. That is a high priority.
That is good.
So my number 1, and I wonder if this is your number 1, is Discoveries. No.
No.
Oh, excellent. Oh,
I should. That is an oversight. That should have been on here.
No, I like that we have different number 1s then. So this is designed by Cedric Chabosit. I don't know how to say it, but I did. Chabosit. Supposedly, Ignacy's new book that he just kickstarted, they hired Eric Sumner to teach people how to say all these board game designers' last names, including himself. So.
Have you seen that shirt that has all the designers like Knizia? Like it has like a bunch of different. Yeah, that needs to be on there for sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to learn how to say his name properly. But anyways, so Discoveries is, for anyone who doesn't know, it's the Lewis and Clark expansion. Lewis and Clark was one of my favorite games a couple years ago, and I still enjoy it. I still play it, and I think it's beautiful. It features one of my favorite artists as well. So that'll be a very easy purchase for me.
Yeah, that one that should have been on my list. I forgot all about that one. Mine is actually, my number 1 is Compounded, the Geiger expansion. Because I really love Compounded. I studied biochemistry in college, so I have, the interest for the subject matter, and then I also helped playtest Geiger.
Does it make you a better player? That you're science smart?
No, I wish it did.
That makes me happy because I'm horrible at science, so that gives me a chance.
It actually probably is somehow some sort of handicap or something. I don't know.
Excellent. All right, well now you have to pick our next top 10.
Ooh, okay. Let's do should we do small box games or demo only games?
Let's do a quick. Let's.
No, let's do. No, we can't do that one yet. Yeah, what were you gonna say? You go.
Oh no. You pick.
No, you pick. Demo or small.
Let's go demo, because this is why I want to go demo. I don't want to give demo as good of a time slot And I think this is a problem. I'm going to go on a little rant here. This is a little Daryl rant moment.
Here we go.
I am disappointed that this year's Gen Con has far too many demo only releases. There are way too many people that are saying, "Oh, like our Kickstarter is going to be going while it's Gen Con time. Come check out the game and support our Kickstarter." Or our Kickstarter is coming up a month later, but Gen Con's a sneak peek. It's like, look, I'm at Gen Con. I want to play a game, and if I fall in love with it, I want to be able to buy it. I want to have that horrible indecision moment of buying it and then realizing how much money I spent and being poor. But let me buy the game, not just demo only. So
yeah, for sure, yeah.
So thank you. I feel better that.
Oh, that got off. Tease you a little bit. I want to tease you a little bit.
It's too much tease. This is too much tease, and I don't appreciate it. With that said, let's name our top 10 games that we want to see in spite of the big tease.
In spite of us being upset, yeah. My number 10 for games that you can demo but not purchase at Gen Con. Number 10 is Blood Rage.
Hey, there's Eric Lang in the house, and cool mini or not.
Yep.
Yeah.
I vote cool, by the way.
You vote cool? You vote cool.
Not. I don't vote for not. I vote yes, this is cool.
Nice. I appreciate that vote. I actually have no idea how that didn't make my list.
But I have every idea.
Yeah. Well, so my number 10 for games that are demo only, not for sale, Ninja Camp by Action Phase Games, and designed by Adam Dalton. It's going to be a future Kickstarter game, but I got to see it at Origins, and I thought it was awesome. And now I just want to buy it. Have you heard of this game?
No, I hadn't, actually.
So it is the cutest game, like art. The idea of it is kind of imagine, like, you know, how there's like different fighting styles, like, you know, fight like the snake or fight like praying mantis. Well, what about all the other animals that don't have cool fighting moves? So, like, what about like a sloth, or what about like a kangaroo? And so it's all these other animals coming to Ninja Camp trying to.
Wait, I think I did see this game because I remember this sloth.
So, anyways, it looks awesome. It's super cute. I'm definitely gonna be checking it out again on demo, and I wish it was out, but
we need more sloths in games. I feel like
it's a missing opportunity.
That is a missed opportunity. My number 9 is a game that I wanted to back on Kickstarter, but am a board gamer on a budget and could not. And it is Trickerion.
Ooh, the magic game.
Trickerion. Yeah, the game of magic. Tile and worker placement game by Mind Clash Games. This game looks super cool, and it is only for demo. There is like 1 million components in this game, by the way.
Oh, I'm intrigued because it's a publisher I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about the game, so that's a good demo recommendation. It's not on my list, but it should be, and it is now.
Well, it says it promises Legends of Illusion. So,
ooh. Yeah, and legendary it is. My number 9, and this is because I already love this game. But there's a new version that's going to be for demo only from Haba Games, and that is Pharaoh's Gulu Gulu. I'm very excited about that. Gulu Gulu is coming back. I'm sad that it's not going to be for sale, but I'll be over at the Haba booth at 252 checking out the new Gulu Gulu that's all Pharaoh themed.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I had not even put that one on my list. I hadn't heard of that one. Well, I saw it on there, but. I am intrigued.
Is a great game, so I am very excited about it being back in the world.
My number 8, I want to go where all of the magic gathers. So I want to play Magic the Gathering Arena of the Planeswalkers.
That was the lamest transition, but best transition ever. It makes me happy and sad.
I am usually lame and best. Somehow, simultaneously.
Yes, that is like a really good description.
of me as a person in general, always. Yeah, I really want to play this game.
Wow, we
Um,
even got a song for it. That is some excitement. All right, well,
I
my number eight is from a new publisher on the scene, Modifius, but it's not a new designer. It's Matt Leacock, and it's Thunderbirds. I'm very excited
Thunderbirds.
about playing Thunderbirds. I actually saw it in action and played, I feel like half a game, but at Gathering, but he was
Hmm.
still like tightening it up. But I'm not usually a co-op fan, but I liked it.
A lot of
So
people were pretty pumped about this game, so
yes,
I think that it will probably be totally busy at the demo area. So if that's one that you were interested in and wanted to check out, then I would definitely make that a priority for you.
yeah. Now the one nice thing is it's way back. It's at 25.30, so you got to actually find that. And so
Yeah,
maybe some people will
in
get
the
stuck
corner.
like
Yeah.
with like all the glitz and glam up front, and they might not get all
Hmm.
the way back there. So
Yeah, that's a real thing. Another game that I have actually played before, but I feel like you guys should all check it out, and I actually might play it again because I know that it's changed since then. But Mech Deck
ooh,
is a game that I actually first played at the Unpub booth at PAX 2014,
wow.
and the it's by Patrick Fay, and he is self-publishing this game. So, and
Hey,
it has these little mech robot miniatures, and he's 3D printed them, like a bunch of them, and they're
wow.
pieces of them. You put them together based on what like cards you have. Like you might have a body that looks a certain way, and then you have arms, and you could have like a buzzsaw arm or like a
That sounds
gun arm,
awesome.
and then you have like a backpack, and so the arms are your attack, right? It's like I'll play it on a hex grid. So your arms are your attack. So like the buzzsaw does like a lot of damage, but it's probably not a lot of range. But then there might be like some kind of rocket launcher or something on your other arm, and then your feet are your movement, which are also interchangeable. So you might have like maybe like spider type legs, like 8 legs. So like you can kind of move all over the place, or maybe you just have one of
So
those like
cool.
conveyor belt like wheelie type legs, you
Yeah,
know what I
like
mean? So
tank
yeah,
legs. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So you're like limited. It's I mean that's what else do you need to know? Like
No, no, you have me convinced. I don't know. I didn't know anything about that game, and I'm gonna have to check out that demo. I'm and sad that it's not for sale because you may have even sold me. That's how good that
that's,
description was,
that's how good it was.
and yet missed opportunity. I'm just warning people out there. These demo onlys. Maybe they'll watch this and they'll be like, you know what? Let's not just demo only it. Let's sell some. So maybe
Maybe
we'll
maybe they'll just sell their prototype copy.
yeah, or give it away to
Yeah,
us.
why
Like,
not? To me or
uh,
you or both of
yeah.
us.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll take a copy each.
yeah.
So my number seven, I've actually heard about this game for a while. This is from Chris Leader. It's with Arcane Wonders, and that is City of Gears. And
Mhm.
there has been a print and play version that's kind of floated around, but the I'm waiting for the Arcane Wonders version because I know it'll be gorgeous, and it's I think
Mm.
part of the Essentials line. So if it's
I
not,
did get
that'd
a,
be crazy.
I got a sneak peek at some of the artwork,
Oh,
and it is pretty awesome.
ooh, Nick, I'm now jealous. That sounds nice. Well,
That's what
that
I'm doing. I'm making you. This demo list is just
yeah,
a list of
this
tease and jealousy for
this
you.
is just all sadness. Sadness. All right. So what's
uh,
your number seven?
my I'm at 6, I think. One,
Oh,
two,
are you? Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yes, I'm
6.
catching up to you.
My number 6 is a game that was on Kickstarter and then was canceled on Kickstarter, and it will be relaunched in a couple of weeks, so it should coincide with Gen Con-ness. That is New Bedford. It's a medium weight Euro set in historical New Bedford, Massachusetts, and you are whaling, but again, it's about history, not about condoning modern day whaling. And it's super cute game. Nat Levan is and Anna Rutledge are the designers,
Cool.
and it is when I say medium weight, I mean it is the perfect weight of
Hmm.
Euro. Like not too long, but long enough, but enough thought and strategy. You're
I
building your
need
town of
I
New
need
Bedford,
more
and
mediums in my life. I feel like
yeah,
there's been too many people making the small stuff, and they've been great. But
yeah,
I need a solid medium.
yeah.
I just
I don't want to spend
little,
4 hours, and I don't want it to be over in 30 minutes.
yeah. I want something a little chewy,
Yeah,
like that.
just
I
like
actually
just a
get
little chew.
a little nice, like a nice steak. So, so that actually was my number 11 that I cut
Okay.
off, and I knew I actually cut it because I thought for sure that would be on your list. So that's my excuse. I'm gonna stick to it. That's the only reason I cut it was I was so confident that it would be on your list. So, um, but my number 6 is designed by Alex Cavern, and it's with Foxtrot Games, and it is World Fair 1893. I am very excited about this game. I got to play at Unpub a version of this game. It hadn't found this theme yet, but the minute I heard the theme and I saw kind of the art, the 1890s kind of style, I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
really excited about seeing the marriage, because the game worked great, but now this new theme, I think it's going to be perfect. So
Did
I'm
Adam McIver do the graphic design and stuff for that?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Will you look that up, and I will say my number 5 game, which is The Little Prince Rising to the Stars.
Mm,
I freaking love The Little Prince, Make Me a Planet.
yes, Make Me
Um,
a Planet was wonderful.
and I just love that story. I took French for like 8 years, and so I just love the Petit Prince. I just love that story.
Yep.
And but aside from that and the adorable theme, the game is just really good. At least Make Me a Planet. I haven't played Rising to the Stars, but I can demo it and not purchase it at Gen Con.
Nice.
And it's for 2 to 6 players, so that's quite a bit because Make Me a Planet was 2 to 4. So
Yeah. No, that's a great actually. That's another great example. You're making my demo list longer because I forgot about that one. I just looked it up, and there's no artist officially named for World Fair 1893.
okay,
So I'm not sure, but another game by a wonderful designer who is just busting out a million games right now,
busting them out.
Scott Elms. And Scott Elms designed this for 8 games, which is at booth 1537. And you got to check out the Great Dino Rush, the Great Dinosaur Rush. It looks so cool. I love this idea that you're like assembling dinosaurs and curating and trying to like draw people to your dinosaur displays. Some of the art has been shown, but none of the components. I think the components might put me over the top. But the art is so cute, and it looks kind of it gives me kind of an Up feel, the movie Up.
Yeah, I totally get that.
So I want to play Up with dinosaurs and then cool dinosaur bones. So
The tag on this is you'll have to play dirty if you want to win, just not
but,
too dirty.
not too dirty.
Because of the paleontology? Get
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
I am so funny. So my number 4 is Titus Tentacle by Haba. And I'm
Yes.
actually we're pretty sure this is not available for purchase. We're not
Yes.
100% sure, but it will be for demo. And for one, it has like an octopus on it. So
Spinning. It's
like
awesome.
yeah,
I think it's designed by Leo Colvini.
it
And
is. It
yeah,
is.
okay, because
Yeah.
I met him when I went on an epic Europe trip this summer, and he is the nicest dude ever. And so basically, I will support anything he makes now. So I will play it at the Haba booth, but I will buy it when it's for sale.
Seriously, just go look at like on Board Game Geek right now and look at this game. It's ridiculous and awesome.
It looks so cool, and like the visual of like anyways, yeah, check it out.
If it was for sale, it would be that secret hit game.
Yeah, it would be the Rhino Hero. It would be the final hero of this year.
Yeah.
Sadness caused by demo onlyness. This is another one that's on my, I think it's demo only, and I was super excited about getting this game. My number 4 is from AEG, and it's Dice City, and it was high on my like to buy list because I thought it was going to be affordable and fun. There's been a lot of hype, and now I'm hearing it's demo only, so I'm sad about that, but that's my number 4.
Womp womp. That should have been on my list too. I should have put that on there. My number 3 is Between Two Cities by Matt O'Malley and Ben Rossett, and that is published by Stonemaier Games. And I played this game at Unpub 2015, and I won. And love this game.
Obviously.
Totally. Love this game. Love Ben Rossett. Love Matthew O'Malley. I mean, they're just there's a lot going on in here, and they're making it happen on more games for you to be able to play.
It is. I haven't played it, but it is possibly. It'd possibly be the first game I run for if it was for sale. It's on my list, and it's at number 2.
I backed it, so I've got it coming.
Yeah,
I
wait. I'm very disappointed, and the disappointed multiplied when I found out that I think they're only demoing it Thursday night.
Whoa!
So you can only see it Thursday night at the Marriott Hotel in like the Denver room. And very specific, very like there's a time slot. So I warn you now, you're not going to find it on the floor in the giant exhibit hall. Don't even try to look. Find out that information. Sign up if you can.
I wonder how many times they're demoing it, because it takes 20 minutes regardless how many people you play with.
Yeah.
And it's typically 3 to 7. Right. But there's a 2-player and a solo variant. But so 7 people in 20 minutes. So
hopefully, this is my hope, is that they're just gonna pump people through that room, and like, lots of people can try it out, and they'll have a whole bunch of copies.
Yeah.
My sadness is mostly related to the fact that my Thursday night's already starting to book up, and I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to make that work. So
I'll play it twice for you.
Oh, thank you. But I already gave away my number 2, but so I'll say my number 3, and then you can go with your number 2.
Okay.
Because that was Between Two Cities. My number 3, and it is not normally my style of game, but I'm super psyched because I saw it at Origins, and it is amazing. Is Post-Human from Mr. B Games. It was so intense looking. It was like, it's not zombies. It's like, what if, like, after, like, in this post-apocalyptic world, like, there was, like, radiation and, like, weird crap happening, and then you, like, choose to keep, just clawing onto life, or do you eventually just turn and then try to kill everyone else? So,
I mean, number 2 for me, probably.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean.
So I've given the description. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm very excited about this game.
I'm excited about that. Man, there were so many games. Our demo list probably could have been like a million games long. Sure. My number 2 is Above and Below. It's by Ryan Lockett, published by Red Raven Games. I
swear that was on my list. I totally forgot about that.
It's a card drafting storytelling game, and I freaking love storytelling games. That's cool. The artwork on this, I know that we keep raving about artwork, but the artwork is so freaking cool.
Well, Red Raven always looks awesome. All their games look great.
Yeah. I mean, town building and storytelling, has that ever been done before?
I can't think of something.
It's got to be the first time.
But I'm very excited about it.
I haven't gotten to play it
That'll be one that I need to demo.
Yeah. So what is are we to our number 1, or are you at your number 2?
I'm at my number 1.
I'm at my number 1.
Well, my number 1's gonna win the Spiel des Jahres next year.
Okay. Well, then I'll do mine. Okay. My number one is Bottom of the Ninth by Dice Hate Me Games.
Nice.
Mike Mullins and Daryl Lauder. This game, I did not expect to like. Daryl Lauder and Mike created it like on a whim at PAX East 2014. And he was like, yeah, we just made this game. Let me tell you about it. Baseball, blah, blah, blah. And I just tuned it out. And I know that you are a baseball fan.
Yes, I'm a huge baseball fan.
Yeah, you are a sports fan, so that you would have been like, "What? Tell me about that."
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
I'm like, and he started telling me about the game, and I was like, "Sounds good." And then I played it, or actually, I saw people play it, and I was like, "What? Hold on, that looks really good." And then I played it, and I was like, "Holy crap, this is really good." And then I became a pitcher in the game that is the only one that can get kicked out of the game for an illegal move for a spitball. So, like, I love the game even more.
It's so appropriate. Isn't
it that I am the only one that can be thrown out?
Yeah, it just feels right.
Yeah.
Just feels right.
What's your SDJ winner?
I played this in April. I've been hunting for a copy since. It's with Arcane Wonders. It is on the Essentials line. The designer, Peter Hawes, is the sweetest and nicest guy in the world, and he almost gave me a copy of this game, and it's Royals. And I'm telling you now, it's
documented on the internet. So, yeah, you're telling us now.
I'm telling you right now, it gave me the same feelings as the first time I played Ticket to Ride. Like that, just like, oh, I could show this game to anyone, and they would have a good time.
I've only heard about this game, and I love Peter Hawes. I literally bought Triassic Terror on the spot, like not even in the exhibition hall, just like out in the open gaming area at BGCon, not last year, but the year before that. And he is so great.
He is the greatest. I love Peter. I would support him no matter what anyways, but he just nailed it. And I remember
he makes good games and good inserts.
He makes good games, but it was just like this one was just like, oh dude, you know you got gold here. So they're being strategic on when they release it and all that. Sure.
Okay, I want to change my top 10 demo list.
We had like at least probably 20 different ones there.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Our demo list just doubled, so.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we on to next? Small games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, we're pounding through here, so let's see. You know what? I haven't looked. Have you looked at the YouTube at all to see if anyone is there?
I did. There are people watching right now. I don't know. We don't have the chat on, though, do we?
No?
We're not paying attention? I don't think so.
Oh, is that a thing that you gotta set?
Probably.
There's a comment, but there's no chat. Oh, I am a failure.
Hold on. Or might be.
I don't know how I can... Oh, well. I can see Q&A. Showcase.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna risk screwing everything, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's no chat, but there is a comment section, and someone did leave a comment there, so...
Oh, they did?
Yeah, so someone was agreeing with you in New Bedford, I think.
See? Awesome.
Which was on my list, and I used strategy because I knew it was going to come up.
Strategery. It was the long con for you.
Was a little head move there. All right, so all locked. You have 10 for this?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do 10.
Oh, nice! Because I cheated with one of mine.
How did you cheat?
I comboed 2 games and said that would be one purchase for me.
Okay.
And it's not even really one purchase because I backed it, but it's my number 10.
Okay, well, you go ahead.
All right, so my number 10, which I'm sure is on your list, but I had to put it on there. And that was Deck Building by Chris Bedell and Unpub by J.R. Honeycutt and Doug Lewandowski with Dice Hate Me. You can find them at 2143 is their booth number. And so obviously when someone goes, they're not going to just buy one, they're going to buy both. And so that's, it's one purchase, but it's 2 games. And it was they were
It's the intended, yeah.
they were kickstarted together. It's very meta, so you gotta pick those up. I did kickstart those, so actually I won't actually purchase those, but that's a small game that I highly recommend.
Yeah, that's one game. My number 10 is Captain's Wager. Jonathan Hager, being published by Grey Fox Game, which is the publishing arm of Cool Stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting. I don't know anything about that game.
This is so many cool bluffing games coming out.
Bluffing and pirates.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, what else? I mean, it's if you have pirates, it's of course, there's probably.
I feel like this is the year though of pirates.
Oh yeah, pirate, and just sort of ocean theme is definitely, it's the year of that for sure. Yeah. It was kind of steampunky before. I feel like there was a ton of steampunk games, but yeah. So that's my number 10.
All right, my number 9 is Flip City from Tasty Minstrel Games, designed by Shen Zaifan. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
But I think it used to be called Design City, and now it's called Flip City. And for $20, you can get it at Tasty Minstrel Games, booth 359. And I'm thinking about it. It's on the cusp for me on my spending. Well, because I start adding up the cost of all the ones above this, and I might be out of money. But
yeah. But they're small, right?
And it's small, so it's gonna fit in that luggage. Yeah. How about you? What's number 9?
Number 9 is Matanai. And
Pardon?
that is Matanai.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Isn't that? Hold on, I'm trying to get.
Yeah. Asmodee Games.
Yeah, Mottanai.
I have no idea how you'd say that. So that's on my list as well. That's my number 7.
Yeah, it's just cards. It's Glory to Rome retheme kind of. So
I love games that use multi-use cards. I played this in April, designed by Carl Chuddick.
Yep.
You can actually buy the base game for $15, or you can buy a deluxe version for $25.
Which is essentially 2 decks, I think. Is what it is.
And like all games designed by Carl Chuddick, when there's a deluxe version, you buy it just in case it becomes Black Box Glory to Rome and you might be rich.
Yeah, totally rich. Yeah.
I'm buying that as an investment.
Which, as an aside, and this was on neither of our lists, but isn't there an expansion for Innovation being demoed too?
Ooh.
I think
that should have made our expansion list.
Yeah.
That was a mistake by us.
That was. I think there is one. I'm pretty sure, but I don't know positively.
I believe that.
So what is have you done your number 9?
Yeah, my number 9 was Flip City.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. My number 8 is Vault Wars.
Oh.
Is that one on your list?
That's on my list, but way higher.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now I feel bad. That should have been.
I'm just kidding. That's why I emphasize the way. No.
Okay. It's way higher. It's at 0.
It's above 1.
Yeah.
No.
0.5.
It's my number 4, and
that's by Jonathan Gilmour and Ben Harkins, Floodgate Games. And I kickstarted this, so I have one coming.
I can go one better than that. I got a copy at Unpub from Jonathan Gilmour, and he had a printed copy. And the funniest part is, it was one of the first printed copies, and a lot of people saw pictures of mine on Twitter and started reaming me out, why does he get one? And
oh yeah, very.
And
upsetting.
I was like, ugh. And the whole point was, I was playtesting a few things for him, which, I got great playtest results for people. So people should be thankful, because the game's even better because of my copy. So
there are promo cards for this game, and I want to go back and look and see if the Kickstarter version included them or not, because I don't remember if it did or not. And because I blacked out. That was during my Kickstarter blackout period, where I just went backed everything and then passed out.
Yeah.
So, but if they're there, I'm hunting those down.
a very important piece of information. That game was launched on Kickstarter on March 5th. I remember this because that's my birthday. So
Aww,
it
very
was it
special.
was a good day. It was a good
So
day.
I purchased that game for myself for your birthday.
Yes.
So
Everyone
happy
who bought it
birthday.
on the first day was really celebrating my birthday.
Yeah, I feel like that's a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hmm.
So that was your number 8. My
Yep.
number 8 is going to be the smallest game on anyone's list, and that is Paco games. I don't know if you saw them on Kickstarter. They are literally this small. Like
Wow.
they're little, like imagine like juicy fruit, like that's,
Like,
like
I,
that's how
I,
big.
I, I think I've seen these actually. Now that
Yeah,
now that you mentioned that, I think that
they're
actually
they're
seems fine.
awesome. I played 5 of them. Chris Handy's a friend, and so I got to play test them while he was developing this idea of Paco games. These little like basically gum package shaped card games, and they're
Hmm.
so different. And they're like you can kind of like hide one in your pocket anywhere you go. You got a game with you, and
Yeah.
they're selling them at $6 a piece, or you can buy all 8 for $40 with a nice little fancy case.
Hmm.
So, and they are at booth 3032, which is the very back of the entire hall. If you go all the way to the back wall, that's what Holly is. But
So tiny.
he's next to Dice Tower,
So it will get some traffic for sure.
so it should get some traffic.
Yeah.
So
So
people look there.
oh, definitely. I actually really want to check that out. I want to see that. I'm really loving like pocket games lately, just games that I can take with me everywhere.
This is the true pocket game.
And I don't carry a purse, so it has to like be an actual pocket
Yeah,
game.
it's a
So,
legit like it's like carrying a pen. You could carry one of these.
yeah. What are we on? 4, 5, 6,
7.
7. I cheated, sort of. Traders of Osaka
You're out of
is
here.
is my seventh pick. It's the third edition of the game, third English edition. Sorry, and it's by Z-Man. And I actually haven't gotten to play this game yet, but we just got it into my FLGS, and it looks really cool, and I want to play it
So why are you calling this cheating?
because it's the third edition.
Well, but did you know what it was before?
Traders of Carthage.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
like that was a long time ago.
yeah, it was a long time ago. Yeah,
So I don't think that's
like
cheating.
like 2000, early
I
2000s.
might be
So
defending this choice because it shows up on my list somewhere else.
you're like, no, not
Oh,
cheating.
that's legit. That's
Yeah,
legit.
yeah. So what's yours?
My number 7 is Montanaya or whatever you
Oh,
call
okay.
that. So
Yeah.
that fancy card word game.
And do your number 6.
My number 6, I don't actually know anything about this game, but the price and the number of players alone makes me want to buy this. But it's called Jolly Roger. Again, piracy, game of piracy and mutiny.
Game of actual piracy.
That's what it's called, game of piracy and mutiny. And the whole premise is it's like for 4 to 10 players. It's going to be for sale for $20 at the Aries booth. And you nominate a captain, and that captain like dishes up like jobs and money and stuff. And at any point, there can be a mutiny, and you can turn on the captain. And the whole game is like just leaning into that mechanic of like, what have you done for me lately? If not, you're out of here.
If
Like
not,
mutiny.
get out of here.
I think
Mutiny.
it's going to be a hilarious game. So it seems like the kind of game that could be really fun. It could be one of those surprise games of the con
You
where
know,
people just have a good time with it.
I feel like I remember seeing that on the preview list for Origins, but I don't remember anyone talking about it, so I don't think it was there.
Yeah.
Either that or I jumped the gun and was looking at the preview list for Gen Con before I even went to Origins, because I remember seeing that and being like, what is this game?
Well, yeah, that's a little like secret. I don't know if it's actually good, but I want it to be good. So
Well, you can find out
We'll find
at
out
Gen Con.
at Gen Con. All right,
At
so
Gen Con.
number 6 for
6.
you.
Yeah, Medieval Academy by Yellow.
Good one.
This
Although
game,
small box.
I mean, if you take it out of the box,
That's a good point. I've heard that it's just cards in a box. So, but I've heard it's a bigger box, but it should be in a small box.
yeah, I mean it looks like it's just cards.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
and it's a card drafting game. So I feel like
Yeah.
any card drafting game except for like something like Seven Wonders is typically.
Well, even Seven Wonders could arguably be a small box game.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
But this seems like it's even smaller than that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this. I don't know if this matters anything at all. I've never even heard of this before. But this could totally ruin my board game cred. But on the BGG page, it says that it is the 2014 Trick Track nominee.
Oh yeah. Trick Track is no. Trick Track is an award in France.
Okay.
It's a French award.
Yeah.
And Canadians only know about it because some of us speak French. Not me, but
Yeah.
But
That's
other
fair.
smarter people than me.
Yeah, super fair.
My number 5 is designed by Bruno Faduti and then 2 other people I've never heard of, but must be awesome because they worked with Bruno Faduti,
Bruno,
Sergio Halaban, and Andre Zatz. And this is Warehouse 51 from Funforge. And it actually sounds a lot like Vault Wars. So I have Vault Wars as I already mentioned, my number 4, and Warehouse 51 as my number 5. I'm gonna check them both out.
Yeah. I think that's good.
So I mean, I guess I just gave away my 5 and 4. So what are your 5 and 4?
Rumpelstiltskin by AEG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good one. Fun fact: I always have a hard time finding it because I think that Rumpel is going to be spelled L-E. It is E-L.
Huh.
So yeah.
Fun fact.
I love that story. I love the story of Rumpelstiltskin, and I'm kind of a sucker for like those kind of like fairy tales and like the Brothers Grimm and stuff like that. So this just on theme alone, I want to check it out. But I've actually heard that it is a really good game, and I think it's 2-player only. So I love games that are designed for 2 players and just 2 players because they're just perfect. You know, you don't have to make them scale for 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. They're just here's the game. This is how many peoples you play it with, and then it's good.
Yep. I would agree with that. Actually, I hope there's more 2-player games in the future.
In the future. Well, I mean, Akrotiri is my favorite 2-player game of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not a 2-player game in my opinion.
Akrotiri?
Yeah.
What do you do? Like teams?
Oh no, you buy a second set and you paint them, and then you play 3 and 4-player.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'm gonna do it.
For reals, I do it all the time.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I really am going to do that.
Yeah, it's great. But then it's no longer a 2-player only.
What do you mean?
Well, because then you can say it's playable with 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah. Totally. 3? Really? Well, I guess, yeah, you just have one person sit at the other orientation. So, yeah. Okay, anyway. That one's not coming out at Gen Con, so we can't talk about that one. Okay, so my 4 is, well, I'm going to do what are you on? Are you on your 4 or your 3?
I've given away my 4 already.
Okay, so my 4 and 3 are Unpub, the Unpublished Game, and Deck Builder. So.
Nice. Which I already gave a shout out, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 3 is actually a very old game, but it's exactly 10 years old to be exact, and that is Animal Upon Animal. And there's a 10th anniversary tin version where the crocodile is actually made out of tin as well. So I'm excited about that. So that's my number 3.
That is really cool. I love that game. I have the bridge version.
Nice.
Yep. So my number 2 is some more Portal Games love, Tides of Time.
That's my number 2.
So Eric Martin played this a lot at Origins, and gave it the thumbs up, and I listened to him because he usually likes all of these games that I like.
You just just
Yeah,
blind trust.
trust in the WEM.
Yeah,
I feel like so.
that's wise advice. I think that's probably a life lesson right there.
Yeah, this game is super compact because it's just cards and it plays very quickly. And this is also a two-player only game. So
this is maybe winner. Oh no, deck building and Unpub are actually cheaper. I was gonna say that for the most affordable game on the list, but deck building and Unpub are, I believe, $10 each, and then Tides of Time is gonna be 12. And you can even pre-order it on Portal so that they'll have a copy waiting for you, so you don't even have to run there.
What? I did not even know that.
You can also, which is a new thing, they're having it that you can also pre-order it through BGG. So you can go on to Board Game Geek and pre-order. They're trying this for the first time to see if it'll work. But I highly recommend this. I pre-ordered not this wasn't a Portal example, but I pre-ordered Sheriff of Nottingham last year. And
that was, I think, the only game I purchased at Gen Con last year.
And it was so refreshing to be able to run everywhere else and be like, when I'd see a copy of Sheriff of Nottingham go by, I'm like, I don't have to worry. I have one.
I bought one of the last copies of it.
Yeah, and so I highly recommend, if you're going to pre-order some of the stuff that you want, and then you don't have to stress about those.
Yeah, and then stress about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
That's what Gen Con's about.
It's chaos at the beginning. I went, like, Gen Con last year was my first time, and my friend Todd, who's like a 10-year veteran, he would just watch and laugh hysterically at me, seeing me like kind of like rove around like a madman, just grabbing things and being like, mine.
I want to buy.
I want them all. And then I'd see like designers, and I'd be like, sign, please, but quickly, because I gotta run.
You pretty much didn't use like articles or like adjectives. Yeah. Like it was just nouns and verbs at that point, basically. Yeah.
Man. So, so that was my number 2 as well. Tides of Time. Thanks. Okay. Thanks for stealing all my wise counsel.
You're welcome.
So, I'm gonna do my number 1 because my number 1. I am so confident in this game. Actually, I just realized.
How confident are you?
You know what's really funny? As I was saying this, I realized, I'm like, oh, it sounds like I'm selling it. And then I was like, wait, I didn't even name my own game on this list.
And I didn't either.
Oh my goodness.
Well, no. There's a game, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wearing an R&R shirt.
And I'm wearing a Dice Ate Me game shirt.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Well, so I should have said Caffeine Rush is my number 1.
Yeah, you should have.
But instead, and it's a small box, and it'll be a great game. But what I'm more confident in, oh man, this is horrible, is Codename. In April, I fell in love. I tried to steal the prototype copy from Vlada. He would not. He would not let me. But I might make this my first game that I run to, and I will be playing it all Gen Con.
That's a big deal. The first runner game, like, that's a delicate matter. I feel like
it's in question, which we'll get to our top 10. But this is my number 1 small box.
Number 1 small box. Yeah. My number 1 was actually one I hadn't thought of until you mentioned it. The Princess Bride, A Battle of Wits. Yeah, Caffeine Rush. This is by Matthew O'Malley and published by Game Salute, and it's for 2 to 10 players, so it's the party game. And guess what? There's bluffing.
Shocker. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Freaking love Princess Bride. So, I mean, why would you not love this game? It's inconceivable that you would not love this game.
Nice. Nicely done. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's our...
let's do, do you want to do our overall, or should we do things to do, or should we do games missing?
Oh, wow. We still have so many. Let's do things to do, because I feel like ours are going to be very... Or no, let's do missing.
Let's
Let's
do
do
missing.
missing.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
then the last part is focused on Gen Con.
Well, mine is really long. My games missing from Gen Con list because there are almost no games at Gen Con, I feel like.
Yeah.
So this is a game that Eric Martin promised me. I feel like would be at Gen Con, and it is not. I don't see it on the list. It might be, but we played this at Origins, and it's called
Okay.
Why First, and
Why
it's
first?
supposed to be published by AEG, if I remember correctly, and it is missing, gosh darn it, from the Gen Con preview list, which I feel like would be an oversight since
Yeah.
Eric is the one that does that list. So.
Yeah, he knows the list, so.
Or he did it on purpose. He showed me this game. He made me love this game, and then he like swept the rug out from under me for this game. This game, it's all about second place. You have little pawns, and you simultaneously place a card in front of you or another player, and they're all going to be a range of numbers like -3 to +4. There are no zeros. And then that person moves that many, their pawn up that many or down that many spaces, and you combine all the negatives and positives together. And the only person that will score each round is the second place pawn, whether they are in a positive or a negative spot.
That sounds
and
wonderful.
then at the end of the game, it's played over a series of rounds, like 6 rounds or something like that. At the end of the game, the second place scorer wins.
That sounds great.
It is a really crazy and different thing. Like, you can think, like, oh, that's no different than just getting first. No, it is a very crazy and different thing to try to get second place.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're manipulating your cards and other people's cards.
Absolutely. That sounds super fun. I'm going to give a shout out to a conversation I had on my social media about 3 weeks ago where I dreamed of a game that I wanted to make. And then I found out from social media that I should not make this game. But I dreamed of making a game that had drug overdose. And so that's
I remember you tweeting about this.
And so that was my game of you want to be in second place because you don't want a drug overdose.
Yeah.
But wise counsel came in and said I should probably retheme that idea. So.
Yeah, I mean, or just move forward with it. It's whatever. Yeah.
So why first is
that is my literal only game that I have.
Because why first?
Because why first?
Why first? All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I love games with punctuation too. There should be more of those.
It makes me feel like I'm Anchorman.
Why first?
Why first? Do I move it? So I'm gonna go through my 10, and you tell me if you wish they were at Gen Con.
Okay. I'll do it. I'll do this or this.
Number 10. I think you're gonna have some opinions on some of these.
Okay.
And I'm hoping someone's watching this video and says, "Well, Daryl said it's missing, so we better bring it," and we just forgot to mention it.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
So my number 10, Seafall.
By
Plaid.
Yeah.
Where is that? I've been waiting.
That's a really good question because they demoed it at BGG-Con last year.
I've played it in April, and I played it the April before that, and I want to buy my copy of Seafall.
Yeah.
So that's my number 10.
You know what it was? People were confused with Spyfall and Seafall.
So they're spacing it out.
Yeah. So
that's a good call. That could be it.
Plus, with Ashes, they were like, well, let's just move.
Yeah.
We'll push Seafall out, and then we'll bring Spectre Ops and Ashes. We'll bring it up. So
their names are different. So
that's a this though for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9. Actually, this number 9, I think is going to be on the list. This company is notorious for naming something last minute. Fantasy Flight. Mission Red Planet. The remake. I love Mission Red Planet. It's one of my wife's favorite games, and if it comes out, I will instantly have to buy that. It will become my number 1 game that I run to, or she might not let me come home.
Oh, really? That's good. That's good to hear that there are games that your spouse is like, if you don't buy this game, you can't come home. Because
Well,
it's usually like if you buy
well, that's the other side of it.
games.
If I buy more than 2 or 3 games, I won't be allowed to come home.
Yeah, so
But
there's a number of games you can buy, and
it's a
then one of
very
them has to
small
be that.
window.
One of them has to be that game if
Yeah.
it's available.
It may
So.
even be like I'm allowed to buy 1 game, and if it's this game, you can come in. And if it's not,
No, you know what you should do though? Buy another game plus this game because you'll be like, but I got Mission
yeah.
Replay.
So that's my number 9.
Okay.
Number 8, it almost broke Kickstarter. Conan from Monolith.
Oh, yeah. Where is Conan?
Where's Conan? All right.
Well, there's like a million miniatures or whatever in that, right? Though,
Yeah.
like those miniatures are still being. Those are like.
Yeah. They're still
Wherever.
having. I think miniatures are having babies and growing them up to be ready.
They're still growing them up to be adult miniatures for Conan because you can't have like the children going into
That's
battle.
the only reason I can think that people pay so much on Kickstarter for miniatures is that there's like a whole breeding process.
Yeah,
You gotta feed them, and
it sounds like there might be some like legal things there. I don't know, but
the adoption process is very expensive. So that's the only way that I can. That's the only way I can understand why they raise like those millions of dollars.
Yeah.
My number 7 is actually an expansion, and that is the expansion for Kemet.
Big thumbs up. Yeah. I want that in my life.
Yeah, it's called Ta-Seti. Ta-Seti.
Yeah.
And why is that not out? It's already made. So just print it and bring it.
Yeah, because so there's is there 1 or 2 more like power tile things?
It's like it has like 4 things in it.
Oh, like 4 new power tiles?
Well, like power tiles and some other things. I remember reading the description.
Those cards that you play, like that'll help you out in like that. The Divine Intervention cards.
Divine Intervention. There's multiples of those and other things going on.
Oh, I just looked it up on BGG. There's a new game phase, Dawn.
Yes. Yeah, Dawn. Yeah. Yeah.
So upset.
Missing.
So upset right
missing
now.
from Gen Con.
Missing from Gen Con. Why First is on my list, and this is not.
Okay, number 6, another expansion. This is why this I think might still happen. The expansion for 5 tribes, Artisans of Nagala.
Yeah, I bet that'll happen.
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful all of these will show up. That they're watching right now. And
yeah, I mean,
it's on its way.
I don't know why they wouldn't be. So
I don't know. I mean, we probably have 2 viewers, and they're both like, the president of Fantasy Flight and the president of Asmodee.
Will they have to change the name to 6 tribes after this expansion comes out?
I thought he was working on another player. Like, I think I have video footage of him saying
so you set up a camera illegally in Bruno Cathala's house, and
well, no. I think he even said it on an episode. Or when we filmed them, I definitely feel like I stalked him, but that's not the footage I'm thinking about. I think it's something else that he said it on video, that there was a 6th tribe. And then this is a small game, and maybe Cool Mini is being all shy about it, but Cool Mini or Not has Queen's Necklace, which is a small Euro game, which surprises me that Cool Mini or Not are doing a Euro game.
Wait, I think Queen's
Necklace.
Yeah.
It's designed by Bruno Faduti and Bruno Cathala.
I feel like someone was talking about this game.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, it has those freaking like diamonds and stuff in it or whatever, right?
I don't know how they're going to produce it, but I hope they
produce it. You don't really care about logistics or specifics.
No,
you just
I just want to get it there.
Just
out.
Be a thing.
Be a thing. I love Cool Mini or Not. They sponsor the Meeple Syrup show, and I'm calling you out. I'm sorry. You got to get Queen's Necklace at Gen Con. You got to do it. You got to do it. Get it done.
Get it done.
This number 4, I'm shocked you didn't think of. I'm confident that when I say it, you're going to regret that this
Freak
isn't
out.
on your list.
Yeah, I'm regretting all of these
I'm going to
decisions.
hint and do this.
Sevens?
7 Wonders Duel.
Oh,
There's a
yes.
2-player version of 7 Wonders.
You know what? I did actually. I put this on a list
Ah?
to help my FLGS purchase games, and it's on the when the heck is this game coming out because
That's
you need
this
this in your
category.
store. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But I didn't know that it was going to come out at Gen Con. I wasn't sure.
It's done. I've already played it. I played it in April.
It's done. It's finished.
It's done.
So there's literally no reason why it wouldn't come out at Gen Con.
Why? Why
There's
is
no
it
reason.
not?
Why last? Why not here?
Why last?
Why not first?
Why not first? So that's another one. Here's one that is for sure not going to be there, but it could have been there, but I guess they didn't work it out in time. But this is Friedman Frice's Super Game 504. Have you heard about this?
Totally in the dark about this.
It is 504 games in one box.
That doesn't seem real.
It's for reals. It's
That
being
seem
made.
like a real thing.
The English version is by Stronghold.
Mm-hmm.
It's already confirmed. The cover art is already on BGG. It's made by Friedman Friese, the designer of Power Grid and many other great games. And the concept is, remember those books where there was 3 pages and you could change the shirt or change the head or change the pants on
Yeah.
Imagine that was your rule book. And so you choose one of 9.
Like a mechanic plus
They're all mechanics. So 1 through 9 of, do you want networking, military, race, and you choose. And then in the middle, you choose. And then in the bottom, you choose.
Holy crap.
And those combinations make 504 different games.
That sounds amazing.
504. All right, 2 more. And then we can get on to another top 10.
Okay.
Number 2, Pandemic Legacy.
Okay.
I'm disappointed. It should be there.
It should be there. It's the legacy.
It's the legacy.
It should be there.
Legacies, come on. But I heard it's being held off till Essen. But I'm still hoping maybe they'll do just like they had a few copies of Flick 'em Up. Maybe they'll have a few copies of Legacy, and people will go.
And they're not announcing it as an official thing.
Because they know it'll just go bonkers.
Yeah.
So
they don't want that death on their hands, like when people are trampled.
Yeah. So I'm gonna trample there, and then if they don't have it, then I'll go somewhere else.
Trample somewhere else.
And then my number 1 game, and there's a rumor it's still possible. Super under the radar. Time Stories.
Time Stories.
It is, if you look up W. Eric Martin, if you read WEM, he will rave about Time Stories because he got to see it 2 years ago in the making.
So it's by Space Cowboys, which is Asmodee.
Yeah. And it is incredible. It is the game changer.
Ooh, role-playing and board gaming?
It is the only game that I am confidently going to say will be my RPG.
They say it's a deck-exploring game.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
It's incredible. So, anyway, so that's my 10. So, what are we down to? We have 2 top 10s left?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So we got our overall, and then we have top 10 things to do at Gen Con beyond gaming.
What do you want to do?
You pick.
Let's do. Should we change it up and let's just run through overall games we're excited about.
Let's do it. Let's go overall. All right. So why don't I go first?
Okay.
My number 10 from Mayfair, designer Andreas Plicken and Alex Pfister have Isle of Skye, Chieftain to King. The Andreas, I believe, is the same designer as Broom Service, and I'm very intrigued to see this follow-up game, Isle of Skye, Chieftain to the King. So that's my number 10, and that's with Mayfair.
Awesome. That's a good choice.
Thanks.
I am putting. Oh my gosh, I didn't really order this because it was so freaking hard.
That's fair. That's fair. So kind of no order, but we'll judge you.
Yeah. So just don't judge me. I will say this is really out of like pure curiosity. So I'm gonna make this my number 10. Is Ghostbusters board
Nice.
game.
Yeah.
So I want to see it. I don't know. I know it was kickstarted and all that, but I mean,
Totally.
what is this game? What does it look like? How are they going to be selling it? What's going to be the spin? Are there going to be people like cosplaying? You know.
I hope so. I hope so. And then, do they cosplay the new characters? Like
right.
Or
the remake, the movie remake? Yeah.
I'm very excited about the remake movie, but then, do they get the the TV rights, or do they get the movie rights? I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, that's pure curiosity, really. That was on there.
It was on my bubble. My number 9 for games, top 10 games releasing at Gen Con. And it's not cheating. It is legitimate to say Traders of Osaka. I said it was on one of my lists.
Yeah, I forgot all about that too. Yeah.
Traders of Osaka. I love Traders of Carthage. I've been on the hunt for it forever, and it will be such an easy purchase at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Unless I buy it, I might cave in the next 2 weeks at my local game store. We'll see.
Yeah, they have one copy left in my FLGS.
They don't have any right now, but if they come in stock, I might.
You might do it. You might pull it. My number 9. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just like stick with the list as I have it. I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna go up it how it is right now. I'm not gonna change it. My number 9 that I have is Star Trek 5-Year Mission by Mayfair Games. Because it's a cooperative game where it's freaking you're members of a crew on the USS Enterprise.
Are you a Trekkie?
I love both Star Wars and Star Trek. So I love all the stars. So
all the stars.
Get that out of the way.
Stars are acceptable.
I will say that I have probably watched Star Trek more times.
Oh, so you would say you're more Trek than Wars?
I didn't say that.
Okay. I tried to put you on that hook.
But I will say, like, if I were to play like trivia of Star Wars and Star Trek, I would do better at Star Trek. Probably.
Gotcha. I know we're going off track here, but I have to talk about this because it came out today. The extended trailer for Star Wars came out at Comic-Con. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, I teared up. I was so excited. It was so just a little like, oh, there's my childhood. Like this is my childhood extended. So.
That's good. I mean, from what I've seen it, I'm excited. So
I trust J.J. Abrams. So
in J.J. Abrams, we trust.
Yeah.
And Eric Martin and also J.J. Abrams, we trust.
Wow, Eric Martin's gonna like the company he keeps. I think he's gonna appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, so that was your number.
That was my 9. So my 8.
9? Yeah, okay.
Is I don't know if you have heard of or played this game, but there was kind of a big to-do at Unpub, so I'm sure you saw like the giant banners for it. Phoenix Covenant.
I've heard of, but I don't know that much about it.
Yeah, so the publisher is Hikari Games.
Okay.
And the designers of this game, it lists a lot of designers on BGG, but the only ones that I'm aware of are Suraman and Adam Peroni. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's like 3 others listed, so or 2 others listed, so I'm sure that I wouldn't want to not give them credit, but I'm I have only met the other two, and those dudes are so
And
freaking awesome.
no
Like,
extra credit being given out.
yeah, those dudes are so freaking awesome that it's ridiculous. And the way that they demo this game is hysterical. Like, I genuinely had a fun time just listening to them demo this game to somebody. Like, they're both hysterical.
Wow,
Um,
that's a good statement.
yeah, so it's sort of like Magic, kind of on a grid with movement and variable player powers and stuff.
All right,
So
that sounds
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Sounds all right.
I guess they call it, like, it's categorized as like rules on card game. So, like, the card has things that you do, and you like, you do this motion to like expend it,
Category?
or yeah,
Weird.
yeah.
I don't understand that's a category, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
Rules on card game, cards that whenever you play them, they have actions, I guess.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Okay,
Yeah.
I've just never heard of it referred that way.
I
Huh.
mean, I think they're just kind of trying not to say it's like Magic the Gathering, like,
Yeah.
because
They don't want to get sued.
yeah.
I get it. All right, my number 8 is from Stronghold Games. Was mentioned already, designed by Evan Derrick, and that is Dark Moon. And I realized it was for sale at Origins, but it sold out super fast, and there was only a few limited copies. I feel like this is really the first real release for Dark Moon. So it made my top 10 list because I love it. I played it. I thought it was hysterical when I played it. It was like, for me, Battlestar Galactica, but not a 3 or 4 hour investment. It was just an hour and a half.
Yeah,
And
which is
it's still a good
which is
chunk of
nice.
time, but it was enough. Like, I was happy to stop. Like, it was super fun, and yet I could play another game. So
I haven't played it yet, but I'm excited about it.
I like it. Maybe we'll play it at Gen Con.
We've said that about like 100 games, so
Not 100 games.
yeah, it was 100. I'm pretty sure it was 100.
Pretty sure it was 100.
Yeah, it was 100. My next one, my number 7, yeah,
Yeah.
is New Salem, published by Overworld Games, and I love this in games, a hidden identity game.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there's deduction and set collection, and the artwork is super cool. I backed it on Kickstarter again, so there happens to be a bunch of games that I backed on Kickstarter that are coming out at Gen Con. So
It's like they timed it or something.
yeah, it's almost like they timed it. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7 is actually a remake. I've never played it, so maybe you can tell me if it's any good. But it's from my favorite designers. So I love Michael Kiesling and Wolfgang Kramer. So whenever Kiesling and Kramer make games together, like, they made like the real classics, like DeCall together and things like that. Well, they made a game called Mexica, which was part of the DeCall series. It was like the third one. Yeah. And Yellow is coming out with a brand new version. It looks very beautiful. So it's my number 7.
My roommate loves that game. It was the one game that he lost in his divorce, that because it was like her favorite of the games that they had.
Wow. So, this is hilarious that you actually know about it.
Yeah, so
and have a story.
Yeah, and so we found it at the BGG flea market, not last year, but the year before that. He found it there and got it and was like, oh, like, his grail game.
Now he can get his own version and have some separation, a fresh start with a fresh art.
New fresh start, yeah.
Mexico. Well, now you got me more excited, because I was worried, because I thought, like, well, why don't people talk about it like DeCall? Like, everyone talks about DeCall.
Yeah.
But why don't people talk about Mexico? And
he never played it. For some reason, we've never sat down and played it, and it's like, I think it's right on the shelf over here. Like, I can almost see it from here, and I might make that a thing next weekend. We might play that. So
play it. Tell me how good it is, and if I should buy it.
I will do that.
Excellent.
My number 6 is Ashes: Rise of the Phoenix Born.
Wait,
and I
did
feel
you
like
number 7?
That was number 7. That was New Salem.
Oh, okay. I'm just catching up.
Am I ahead of you?
No, you're good then, because Mexico is my 7.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So
it's Ashes.
It's my 6. Yeah. I love that. I mean, is Phoenix born? Is that a word? I mean, it is now.
It's a word.
It's a word.
It's gonna be the buzzword of Gen Con.
The buzzword. Just, like broken record, yada yada. The artwork looks freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing. Isaac Vega is the designer. Plaid Hat Games is publishing it, and this is probably the reason that you're not getting Seafall. So
I'm anti this pick. This is in the way of the game that I want. Because I will confess, and this is gonna make me sound like a hater, and I don't even know Isaac. I'm sure you've made a wonderful game, but you use the wrong mechanic, and that is I'm done with deck builders. And so
it should have been a deck deep construction.
Yeah. Then I could be okay with it, but
yeah,
I'm so done with deck builders. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go Zen now with my number 6 because I'm frustrated with deck builders, but I'm gonna think about my number 6 selection, which is Spirits of the Rice Paddy by Philip DeBerry. It's gonna be by Ape Games. I love games that Philip DeBerry makes. He was just on the Meeple Syrup show, and he was a delight. He is
an absolute delight.
Yeah, he is just a sweet, nice, awesome, smart, clever. The list could go on.
Right.
And so after meeting him, especially, then that just made me trust his design sensibility.
Plus, Daniel Solis was involved.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. All right,
with the art or graphic design, I believe. So.
Man, that guy is so good at everything.
Freaking everything.
Graphic design, does art. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, yeah. A part of me just feels like giving up as a designer when I hear about stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
just do that. So that's my
do it all.
That's my number 4.
Oh,
nice. Yeah. So I'll say my number 5, but the Spirits of the Rice Paddy is my number 4. New York 1901 is my number 5. That's by Blue Orange Games. And they actually gave me a copy of this to play at Origins. Oh. And this game is Blue Orange Games. I feel like this is kind of like different than the other Blue Orange games that I've played.
Agreed.
And I'm like, do more of this. Like, you can make games for, like family games and like Spotted and like Doodle Quest and all that. Like, continue to do those because great job. But let's do more of this too. Like, let's do more of your tile placement games.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm going on an aside, but did you hear that Spotted was sold?
No.
Just Spotted alone. The rights to Spotted were just purchased by.
There's like a million of them, right? There's like.
Yeah, I believe there's 19 versions.
Yeah.
And
I believe you on that.
Asmodee just purchased Spotted. And I could be wrong on these figures, and someone will probably come back and be like,
is it going to be the new Munchkin? Are we just going to see Spotted Batman?
Look, $6.7 million they bought the rights to Spotted.
Wow.
I heard.
Why didn't I just think to point things out earlier?
Yeah, totally. I heard someone was telling me that from Black Friday till Christmas, 25,000 copies of Spotted sell each day.
Your face. That's amazing.
Day.
Each day.
25,000 copies.
Yeah. Wow. I don't have 25,000 of. I don't have 25,000 of anything.
So I don't know if I'm totally out to lunch or my numbers are all like totally wrong and I'm exaggerating, but
yeah, probably that math is probably incorrect.
The math's probably wrong, but nonetheless, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then also I should point out that New York 1901 is my number 3. I had Chenier LaSalle, the designer, on the Meeple Syrup show a month and a half ago, and I found out, and I didn't know this, he's Canadian. and he lives in Houston, and he's a diplomat. And whenever I meet diplomats, I think they're spies. So I think he's a spy. So you're supporting like the next James Bond when you buy that game.
Wow. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't do that.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't do that. The other thing is, if you're at Gen Con, I believe they're giving away a promo card and a pin, and they're signing every copy they sell, the designer and the artist. So,
Old swag is cool.
yeah. So that news or information might make that my number one run to location.
You've said that about like 8 games.
I know I might be running in 8 directions, but
yeah, you're gonna have like monkeys, like trained monkeys with just exact change. With
oh, that would be incredible. I'm gonna look into monkeys.
How many? I have 3 left. How many do you have left?
I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 left.
Okay, well then you do your 4.
Oh, all 4.
Well,
I'll
no,
do
like
my
your
number 5.
4.
I haven't done my number 5 yet.
Oh, because that was your 3. Yeah.
New York was my number 3.
Yeah.
So my number 5 is Viceroy from Mayday,
which is a reprint, right?
It's from a Russian designer.
Yeah.
And real small release, and I've heard it's actually quite like a nice little clever game that some people are comparing to Splendor with a theme. And
bold words.
Yeah, those are bold words. And so I'm very intrigued. The art, and they do like multi-use of cards, which I really like. Whenever games, use cards in multiple ways. So I think it looks really cool. It also has what looks like, at least, that it has like this, like using the corner cards to put gems in thing. And there was a game from Mayfair that did that, and I really wanted to like the game, but it sucked. So I don't remember what the name of it was, but it sucked. But it had that corner thing with the gems. So now I'm waiting for a game that I would love. That
with a new corner gem aspect.
Corner gem aspect.
I
just want that. So
I just want my corner gem. Totally.
So that's my number 5, and then I'll say my number 4.
And then you have your 2 and 1 left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say your 4, and then I'll say my 3.
Okay. So my number 4 is Rattle Battle Grab the Loot.
Okay.
It is by Portal Games. Designed by Ignacy Trocek.
Check.
Thank you. If only your voice sounded like mine, then I could pretend that you said that. But I saw Chevy showed it around at Origins, and it has 1 billion bits inside the box. Custom dice, really beautiful art. You build this whole ship, and then it's just like a straight up like dice battle game, and it just looks fun. So I'll probably try to talk one of my friends that spends lots of money into buying it because I'm poor. But
that's a good idea.
But I really want to play it at Gen Con. Like that's like super high, and I'm questioning I might even cave and spend my own money. Yeah.
Cave-in.
I might cave.
All of the Portal games.
All the Portal games. Yeah. I'll be over at Portal Games.
Yeah, just that's where you're going first, obviously, because you'll knock out like 5 of the games that you want.
Then I could get Tides of Time. I could get I could get code names.
Imperial Settlers.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's all of them.
Oh boy.
My number 3, I actually got to play this game whenever I visited Seattle for a different charity event, the Gauntlet at Card Kingdom and Mox Boarding House. Penny Press.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What a super cute game. The theme is, I mean, I don't know, it may grab you, it may not, but it's just really clever in the way that you go about it, and I don't even know, again, that I can really describe it.
No, you're doing good. I agree.
We'll say area, it says area control in BGG, and I get that, I think that's right, but it's like your area in the paper that's going to be
Mhm.
filled with different articles
Yeah.
and ads and stuff. So it's like
You think differently about it.
you've got to put those in the right way.
Yeah.
And there are like hot stories that you kind of want to get, like people are maybe like really into sports stories, so you want to like kind of do a lot of those, and you'll get victory points for having the most sports stories or stuff like that. But it's really clever. There's just a tiniest hint of take that because it's kind of worker placement. So if you place your worker there, when you have majority, you like basically scoop that story out from someone else.
Or when you declare it, like when you score it, there's a real kind of the values change.
Right. Whoever declares it first, like you're basically going to press first, and it's like hot off the press, and then like that's the best for you because yours is filled and everyone else has like holes in it and stuff. So, super fun game, cute game. We played 3 players. It plays 2 to 5. So
Yeah, that was a great pick, and I don't know why it's not on my list. I screwed up. That's a great game. I played it with Tom Vassell. That was like my claim to fame.
Wow, that is your claim to fame. I have not played a game with Tom Vassell.
I've only played a couple, and that was one of them, and it was a wonderful experience.
That's a couple more than most of the world. So okay.
Oh, sorry. My number.
I've only played 15, but yeah, it's fine.
Well, I rounded down.
Yeah.
So I don't want people to be jealous. So
yeah, that's understandable
because we're besties. But he won't review my games. No bitterness.
None.
So my number 2 has already been mentioned, and that is Broom Service. And I'm saying this because I actually did play it. I mentioned before. I loved it. Like, I just absolutely loved it. This is my description. Anyone who likes Glass Road. Have you played Glass Road?
I haven't, but I saw it played at Origins last year.
Okay, so that's Uwe Rosenberg game. Yeah. And the nice thing about Glass Road, and I guess it was in Witch's Brew as well, is this idea that everyone simultaneously selects, like, say, 3 cards out of 6. And those are your actions you're going to do this turn. But then the first player plays one of their cards, and if you match, then you get to play.
Only if you match.
Only if you match. And so, but you want to pick unique cards because you get, like, it ×2, like it's double. And so it's like a really clever.
So you want to match, but not like.
You don't want to be matching if you get to go first because you want everything, but you want to match and get to go out of turn sequence.
Yeah.
And so that little, like, that's such a clever little mechanic that.
Yeah, that is.
It works for me.
It works for me.
Yeah.
I like it. Why first?
Well, now I'm afraid. Did we pick the same game for number 1? Because I haven't heard my game.
I still have 2.
Oh, you still have 2? Oh no, I'm really in trouble.
Number 2 is you mean Caffeine Rush?
Oh yeah. No, I did not pick Caffeine Rush again. Yeah. I failed.
It's funny because I was looking at the list and I'm just like, I guess it's just because I knew I was doing it with you, So I just was like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Excuses.
Right. Number 2 is Tesla versus Edison War of Currents.
Yeah.
I was working at the Dice Hate Me booth at Origins, and so I got to see Artano booth was right across from me, and Dirk Niemeyer is really cool. That's the designer.
Yep.
And I mean, that's like the age-old battle, Tesla versus Edison, right?
Yep. For energy. The energy battle.
The battle of energy, yeah.
Yep.
And it's supposed to play pretty quick for how much strategy is in the game.
Yeah, and the components, I can vouch for this because at Origins they opened the first ever copy.
Oh yeah, they did the unboxing, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a test one, like where they send them the
advanced copy.
And they approve it. And the quality of the components were incredible. like really thick like types of stock. There was like a plasticiness
Hmm.
so that like things like had durability.
I really love their aesthetic, like
Yeah, the art style is
nutrients and stuff like
cool.
that. Yeah, I really love that. It's simple, like clean cut, like
Hmm.
Tesla
It,
versus Edison.
it stands out. So
So
it's a good pick.
that's my number two. I wonder
All right.
what your
Well,
number one is.
yeah. Well, my number one, I'm hoping I picked right. And then you'll be like, but I picked number one, Mysterium.
Yes!
Yeah? Is that your number one?
I actually own it.
Yeah.
Tajemnice Domosvo. I own the actual Polish
Whoa, whoa,
version.
whoa. Say it. You can say it right?
Tajemnice Domosvo. That might
Wow.
be it.
That sounds legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll go.
I think the new version looks even better.
You know what? I have not even gone and looked at the new version because I already have it and
Right.
I just didn't.
I'm very excited. I love the game. I've never got to be the ghost yet. And
I
so
haven't either, but I've heard it's a like maddening yet awesome experience.
I'm so ready because I have mocked and heckled every ghost I've played with, and
Come
I
on, why would you give me that
yeah,
card?
exactly. And so I'm going to be the perfect ghost. I
It's
know it.
it's it's basically like Clue concept Dixit is
Yeah,
what a lot of people kind of say.
yeah. That's the trifecta, and it works. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be it's with Libelud or Libelud, whatever how you say that in a French way. But really that's just like Asmodee, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Asmodee in sheep's clothing.
Asmodee is
And
like everything basically anyway,
yeah,
so
they own everyone. They call them partners, but really it's like it just
it's Asmodee. Yeah.
it's a costume.
Hmm.
And so Mysterium is going to be for sale. I believe I've heard rumors of $45 and well
I mean,
worth
I
it.
paid more than that to get my
Oh, I
Polish
bet.
copy.
Well, I
So,
mean the shipping, I'm sure you had to pay
yeah.
for the import. So
Yeah.
if it's 45, that's a steal.
That is a steal. That
So
is truly.
so that's one of my question marks is do I run for Asmodee first cuz Mysterium.
I mean, I might do that just because that is going to be a good gift for
Mhm.
somebody.
Yeah.
I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like. I mean, I could wait. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't know. So I'm
I'm,
torn.
I'm I'm working at the Stronghold booth, so
Oh, you
that'll
are?
yeah. Mhm.
Well, then that's not too far. So
So I'll hold back your. Well, you already have Dark Moon though, right?
I do already. No, no, I might pick up a copy there. I played it.
There you go.
Stronghold is 23.29, and um I think Asmodee is like 16.17, 17.17, 18.17. So it's like all building towards you.
All of the 17s. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you'll be able to see them. And I have friends that work on the Asmodee. So
Yeah. Oh, Sean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Jackman and PT.
We we did not get to meet up at Origins. We attempted. I would go to the Asmodee booth and he wasn't there, and then he would come to the Dice Hate Me booth and I wasn't there. We were trying to like meet up and hang out, and it did not happen.
Well, I have said to both Sean and PT that we're for sure hanging out at Gen Con, so we'll recruit you.
We're doing it.
All right.
It's happening.
It's happening. So we got
only have
one
one
last
last list.
wow. This
Yeah.
went much longer than I originally anticipated.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's fine. We actually have
Things
more viewers now than we have at any time.
things to do at Gen Con. Da,
Da, da, da, da.
number 10. Let's see, what do I want to pick as my number 10? Number 10.
I know. I did not put these in order.
Yeah, I picked. Okay. Some of the events are cool, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what am I saying? All of the events are cool, right? But this is one that I would actually participate in. The U.S. National Diamonds Championship Qualifier.
What?
Yeah.
That
right?
sounds awesome.
It's Thursday at 10.
Diamonds would be a great tournament to be part of.
Right.
Because it's like, but it's competitive, but it's like, oh, yeah.
I just think that trick taking is a perfect competitive game.
Yes.
You know?
Good call.
Yeah, so that's my number 10, and I I don't know if they're sold out or not. I'm gonna have to
Huh.
go look at the Gen Con events and see if they are. And if they aren't, then I really might sign up for it. It'll be my first like con like tournament event that I've ever done. So I'm excited.
That's a great recommendation.
Yeah.
All right. I've kind of rearranged mine so that they're kind of in order, but kind of not because I can't do it. So the number 10 of top things to do at Gen Con beyond gaming. I'm gonna recommend that everyone needs to be at this. It's Thursday night. It's the Nerd Nighters charity event.
Yeah.
So it's gonna start, I think, at like 7 and go till like midnight. So sure, you might not show up right at 7, or maybe you come at 7, you stay for a couple hours, you leave, you come back, whatever you need to do. It's going all night long. You pick and choose when's a good time for you. I'll probably be late, fashionably late, but I'm very excited about this. And this is the reason why I think I'll be missing Between Two Cities. Is because I'll probably be at Nerd Nighters all the time.
Yeah. So that was on my list too.
Oh,
That's
nice.
good. Um,
Excellent.
excellent. So another one
What number
is
was that for you? Or why don't we just say that was your number 9?
that we'll just say that was my number one. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could say that was my number 9.
Okay. So your
Another
number
event.
8.
Yeah, my number 8 is they have this at so many conventions, and I've actually never done it at Gen Con, but I'm assuming that they have it. But Artemis,
Yes.
they'll usually have something like that.
Yep.
So I love, love, love Artemis. And playing that at a convention is really awesome because you get to play with different personalities that you don't normally play with. And that's a space bridge simulator.
Yep.
So you're basically crew members of the USS Enterprise.
Yeah, I was just about to say your Trekkie is showing.
It's basically Star Trek, and well, there hasn't been any Star Wars, stuff. So, outside of what you talked about, yeah. So Artemis is really cool, and you should check that out if that sounds interesting to you at all. So
Right.
that's my number 8.
I'm gonna do my 9 and my 8.
Okay.
My number 9 is it's actually 2 courses, but they're you know what? I'll just pick one. It's I'm gonna give a shout out to Sen. Sen is actually doing a course with his design partner Jay. They go by the Bamboozle Brothers, and they're gonna do a seminar on tips to make and sell a prototype. So
Really cool.
there's still spots available. Last I checked, I can't remember. Oh wait, let me look it up. I can look this up quickly. It is. Oh, I'm looking at my schedule. Looking at my schedule. When did they say it was? I believe it was on
You're
Saturday.
failing our adoring public right now.
Oh, Saturday. Saturday. And the Bamboozle Brothers pitching games to publishers. It's going to be in the Plaza Penn Station B.
Cool. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
I highly recommend it. Jay and Sen are both excellent communicators, and I know they'll be very helpful.
So I have what is this? 7, number 7.
Oh, I guess I was supposed
I
to say my 8. My 8 was walking around the exhibit hall in awe.
Yeah, I actually put that on there, but I had to take it off because I wanted to put something else on there. So
There you go.
I have something kind of similar, which is walking around Indianapolis and exploring the culture and trying different food and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. So that's your
Yeah.
number 7?
So yeah, so walking around the exhibitor hall and walking around outside in Indy.
Yeah, soak it all in. Soak it all in.
Yep.
And talking about soaking it in, my number 7 is try to hit the hotel pool.
Hey, that's a good one.
You like that transition too?
I
Soak it in?
did.
Ah?
Yeah, soak it in. Did you move that just so that you could say that, or is that actually
No, that is legitimately my number 7.
it?
Hotel pool.
Hotel pool. That's a good
Hotel
idea.
pool.
I'm gonna have to pack my bathing suit.
I'm very excited about. I do tell myself that I'm always going to do the hotel pool, and I don't. But this year,
Let's do.
Hotel
We
pool.
need some waterproof board games. We need to get together some waterproof board games and go to the hotel pool.
You know
Check it
what?
out.
Maybe the flick 'em up game. No, that's
If you
probably
have like a little like a board, something to put it on, kind
a
of. Yeah.
surfboard. You could put on a
Yeah.
surfboard or something.
It would be the second location for the Unpub Blue Noodle, but we would actually be using the Blue Noodle.
Unpub pool noodle is needed.
Actual, yeah, too real, too real. What are we on? 1, 2, 3,
6.
5, 6. Number 6 is Telestrations After Dark. There's a couple of sessions for this, but I saw one Thursday at 7 p.m.
Huh.
Telestrations, I think, is just a really fun game to play with people, especially people that you don't know, with strangers.
Totally.
Because I just think that you can really, you don't know what to expect from these people, and so I just think that that makes that game lots of fun. So,
Nice.
Telestrations After Dark, that saw that on the event list, and that looked like that would be fun.
That's an awesome recommendation. My number 6 is not as good, I don't think, but it's good for me. And this is where I often am, and that is the food trucks. So my number 6 is hang out by the food trucks. It's not only good food, but it's hilarious people watching.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was similar to that at previous cons, so I'm sure that I expect, no less at Gen Con.
Yeah.
This is also good people watching. My number 5 is meet designers and publishers and get them to sign your games.
Nice.
So,
That's a good
I mean,
one.
or even if they don't sign your games, just that's kind of the benefit of going to these conventions is getting to meet the people that have made some of your favorite games. So,
Yes.
that's
Well,
really cool.
I'll jump off of that. So just like meeting some of the designers, maybe there's podcasts or reviewers that you really enjoy.
Yeah,
And
you should meet them too.
so mine was checking out the Battling Networks or the Dice Tower events. So
Oh, I have that. Yeah,
my
I
number
have the.
5 is check out one of those and see maybe your favorite reviewer.
That's actually my number 4 is the Battle of the Board Game Networks, which is Friday at 7:30, and I think Dice Tower is about that same time.
Yep. So one or the other, you gotta go where you love. Like for instance, my friend Eli is coming for his first ever Gen Con, and he said like I have to go to the Dice Tower event, and I was like, and he sadly that sold out instantly, but thankfully Tiff Ralph said I'll sneak you in. So on the record.
On the record, right there, Tiffany.
Right there.
Yeah.
Said she would sneak in my friend Eli. So hopefully that'll work out. And really, that will make Eli's entire Gen Con experience. So
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do.
I'm very excited about him experiencing that because he listens to it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So
He needs to experience that.
Yeah.
I have 3 left. How many do you have?
Oh, so my number 4 is sleeping 4 hours.
Like at least 4 hours?
Well, no,
the entire trip, or
I'm not going to define. It was my number 4, and so I thought I'd be clever by saying 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
I'm not saying that's 1 hour a day or if that's 4 hours together.
Clever girl.
But I am saying that those 4 hours of sleep are heaven. So the few hours of sleep that you do get are amazing.
I do plan to get more sleep at Gen Con than I did at Origins, but we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, right.
if it's anything like Unpub,
I plan on getting less sleep because I'm now at least less of a walk away than Origins. So
yeah, that's
or
fair.
Unpub for that matter. Both of them, I had to walk ridiculous amounts after.
Yeah, that definitely can affect it.
Yeah.
So
what about your number 3?
My number 3, I did this last year at Gen Con, and it was my first time, is True Dungeon, the True Dungeon experience. This is like real life D&D. You probably cannot get tickets at this point because it's probably sold out because I think it's pretty popular, but there usually are some people that are like, our person dropped out, we're looking for another person. So.
I was just going to say, I've heard that there's a waiting list.
Yeah, there's you might okay. Wow, I didn't even know that. I think if you've already got a team set up though, you just like give your tickets. You could give your tickets to someone that you choose. You know, you don't have to
Right.
like because you go in together.
I think there's a way to get your money back. Like
Yeah.
that. Like if you go on the,
Right.
I've heard like if on the Wednesday or the Thursday you give your name, and this might be a rumor, you give your name and your cell phone, and they work it out like one way or another.
That's
Like
awesome.
that, like they try to sneak you in one way or
Hmm.
another.
And they probably I don't know if they do this too, but they might have those puzzle rooms too
Right.
at Gen Con. I know they have those at like BGG and Origins and Dice Tower Con and all that. So
I have never done True Dungeon. It intimidates me. I want to do it someday, but I feel like
it was a
I'm
lot
not
of fun.
I feel like I'm not ready.
We got added to a team because there were some people that had to drop, so that was how I
Nice.
ended up doing it.
And
And
it
it
was
was a
good.
lot of yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was a wizard, like
Nice.
legit sorcery. Yeah. So
All
that's
right,
my number three.
my number three of top things to do at Gen Con beyond gaming. I'm gonna give a shout out for the speed dating publisher event and just pitching games in general for any designers. Even if you just have one design, you can sign up for the speed dating publisher event, the roundtable, and you get to sit at a table and you get to be face to face with the game acquisition person for a lot of great publishers, and you get 6 minutes to just explain your game, and then the publishers get up and they rotate while you still have your game all set up. I recommend people get a sell sheet, get a maybe a business card or something that you can tangibly give each of these people that you're getting to meet, because
Yeah.
it would cost you tons of money to ship your game to get in front of all of these publishers and to
Right.
get to the front of the line. And instead, I mean, I'm not signed up for the speed dating, but I'm going to hopefully be there with Sen, and we'll do some Meeple Syrup coverage of the event because we love the idea of it, and we really
Yeah.
encourage designers to use that as an opportunity to connect.
I mean, a lot of matches have been made just from that. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, it's you Wayne Gretzky once said, if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right?
Did you just pull a hockey reference?
Yeah.
Wow. You just got all Canadian viewers are now your biggest fan. Every Canadian loves you right now.
Yeah. So there's literally no point in not doing
Wow.
it because you'll learn a lot. You learn a lot about how to talk to publishers, how to pitch your game. So even if it's not direct feedback about your game, I think that just getting that exposure and that practice is like, why not? Let's do it.
Yep. All right. What's your number two?
So I didn't know that there was a caveat that was like aside from gaming. So I put open gaming.
That's fair. That's fair. But open gaming is different. Like, it is a strange beast.
Yeah, you got like go to the open gaming area and play some games with people.
Yeah.
Anybody. Go find
Anybody.
the blue noodle. There'll be a big pool noodle, giant blue pool noodle, or if you're colorblind, there'll be a gray noodle.
Oh,
In the
or
open gaming.
there's gonna be another pool noodle.
The
There's gonna be the canoodle.
canoodle.
The
That's gonna be
Canadian
dangerous. But you
the
need to set it
Canadian
up
noodle.
just right next to the blue noodle.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna definitely be in the area, but
Yeah. Okay.
but
So
the canoodle might canoodle up to the blue noodle. We're not
find the
sure.
find the noodles, and then
Find
there will
the
be
noodles.
lots of people playing unpublished games as well as published games that they've either brought to the event or purchased at Gen Con. So
So that's in Hall D,
yeah.
and it's gonna be like if you walk from the registration table and you walk in, it'll be on your right hand side. So towards like the bathrooms.
Yeah. If you're
So-
dyslexic, that's on your left hand side.
Is that?
I don't know. I included colorblind people, so I was trying to
Sure.
be inclusive.
Or what about if you only had a left hand?
Or I insulted people just then, and that was really not my intent, and I apologize.
It's late. It's late.
Yeah.
My number two is very specific, and it is the Brazilian Steakhouse Fogo de Chao.
I thought you were going to say something else. Yeah,
What did
that's
you
a good
think I was
one.
going to say?
I just thought that maybe you could give a suggestion on something else.
I'm
But
now super curious about it, but I'm going to continue to talk about Fogo de Chao. It is my tradition every year to go to the Brazilian steakhouse with a bunch of friends, and you eat so much delicious food that you get the meat sweats, and it's heaven. So,
yeah,
and then afterwards, you walk to Scotty's, have a beer because it's right there, and then you continue your walk down to the Ram, and you get dessert.
perfect.
It's a perfect, just kind of like line.
Yeah, just go. Boop.
Yeah.
My number one is also very specific. If there's one thing that you do at Gen Con 2015, one thing,
One thing.
this is the thing that you need to do. And it is say hello to me and give me a hug.
Oh.
If you're not a hugger, you still have to do that. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, you
Just
really
say
do.
hello.
No,
But
no.
I am a hugger, so
Yeah.
just come up to me and say hi, Stephanie. Like, hey, and then if you could please go ahead and just say Don't hug me. Maybe if you're not a hugger, but otherwise, I will probably give you a hug because I think that a lot of you guys are awesome. So.
I highly recommend the hug. And I was promised a hug at Origins, and it was a long time before I saw you.
Yeah, I
But
know.
but
Yeah,
then I got a legit hug.
it
So
was worth it.
so it was worth it.
It was worth it.
I highly recommend
Try the hug.
try that hug out. But my number one, which is cheesy like yours, is enjoy adult camp because it's your chance to hang out with your friends and have great moments, great experiences. So adult camp is Gen Con, so just enjoy it. So that's all our top tens for Gen Con.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. I'm gonna try. We'll see if I'm motivated to chop this up. I don't know if I'll chop it up, but what I might do is at least insert the little graphics of the games,
Oh yeah, you for sure should do that.
and so then they'll be visually a little more memorable, and then
and
you can
yeah,
look for them.
should you add on like do them all like boop 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 boop
Yeah,
boop
we'll
or
see.
yeah
We'll
yeah
see
cool.
how that works out, but
Yeah.
hopefully I will do that in the near future. Thank you to our viewers for watching, and I look
What?
forward to hearing what games you recommend.
Come to Gen Con.
Peace out.